What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia, also known as Chef Rudakova, and today we'll be making a Mexican flavored complete meal of edible rocks. Yes, I know, it sounds super confusing, but bear with me, I will explain. So the idea is to make 3 different rock styles representing the entree dish, main dish and a dessert. So if you serve it to your guests and they go from the top to the bottom, they will have a complete meal. It is also worth noting that visually the whole dish will look like a pile of rocks, but once you actually taste them and bite into them, they will kind of taste and feel like savory and sweet donuts. And we will cook them with different styles of dough and different feelings inside. If it kind of explains to you what I'm gonna cook today, and if you're into this kind of thing, keep on watching. So first things first, let's infuse our milk that is going to be a base for our dough preparation for the first 2 courses with hay. It will give some heartiness and earthiness and just provide a really great flavor for our dough. While our milk is getting infused, I'm going to quickly prepare the filling for our first course, which is ceviche. So I'm going to cut quickly some avocados, scallops and lime. I don't know if you know, but I suspect that the vast majority of you guys know this already because you've made ceviche before. When you cook ceviche, the fish, the raw fish that you use, is not getting cooked using high temperatures. It's getting cooked from the high acidity, and in our case this is lime juice. So now I'm just going to season it a little bit with salt, add a few chili flakes and transfer it to molds and get frozen. Why? Because I want the filling with ceviche in our donuts to be still cold when we serve it, as it should be. While I was doing my ceviche, milk had already infused with hay and the aromas are just incredible, guys. I cannot describe it. It's so grassy and just smells amazing. So now I'm going to strain it and let it cool for a while. Our second course is going to be prawn tacos inspired donuts. I know it sounds crazy, but you know me. So I was thinking that since we are going to use prawns anyway, and I have here some unpeeled jumbo prawns, I'm going to go no waste and I'm going to use the peels, the skin from the prawns to make prawn butter, part of which we're going to use for the dough preparation for our first 2 courses. And the rest you can just enjoy in your spare time. So first I'm going to peel the prawns. Next, I'm going to cut my butter in small cubes just to get it melted faster. Put it together with shrimp skins in the same small pot. Melt it and infuse it for a few minutes. By this time, the shrimp skins had totally infused the butter, and now, while it's still hot, I'm going to pass it through the sieve the same way that I did with hay and milk. And while it's getting cold, I'm going to continuously whisk it. And that's, guys, how we make whipped infused butter. Finally, it's time to make the dough. And as I mentioned previously, all the doughs for all 3 courses are going to be made using different recipes. So first I'm going to start with the dough for our ceviche donut. And for that we are going to mix together 50 grams of our hay milk and 70 grams of white sourdough starter. Mix everything together, break the sourdough apart with your hands, and then add 2 grams of yeast, 5 grams of sugar, 1 gram of salt, about 20 grams of shiitake mushroom powder, 55 grams of white unbleached flour, and 40 grams of rye flour. Now I'm going to transfer my stony dough to a buttered bowl, cover it tightly with a plastic wrap, and let it rest at room temperature for about an hour and a half. Next, I'm going to prepare dough for our second course, for our prawn tacos inspired donuts. And the recipe for this is pretty much similar, except for a few things. First thing is the flour. Instead of using rye flour, we're going to use some corn flour, and we're going to add some prawn infused butter. And we're not going to use any shiitake mushroom powder. For the color, we're going to use some food colorants, a combination of 3 colors. And that's basically it. So let's do it. The same procedure applies to this dough as well. We're gonna let it rest at room temperature for 1 hour and a half. Our final course is going to be churro-style donuts. And the dough for that I'm going to prepare a little bit later because it doesn't need to rise. Meanwhile, I'm going to chop quickly all the fillings for our prawn taco-style donuts. As for the prawns, I believe that technically I don't really need to pre-cook them because they're getting cooked really fast, as you know, and I believe that they will be cooked inside the donuts, but I just don't want to risk it, so I'm just gonna quickly saute them on a pan for about like 30 seconds to 1 minute, mix together with the rest of the ingredients for the filling of our prawn tacos, and let it rest for now. And finally, it's time to make our churro donuts, my favorite. I'm going to use here the same technique as when making proper churros, but I'm going to incorporate a little bit more flour so I can actually play with the dough and assemble it into donuts. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have never done churros this way before, but cooking is all about experimenting and doing things that nobody had done before. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try it and I will tell you, I will report to you how it goes. So let's do it. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take a medium-sized pot and mix together 50 ml of hay milk, 25 grams of butter, normal butter, not the shrimp butter, and 25 grams of brown sugar. Mix everything together, whisk, and bring it to boil. Now I'm going to add the colorant to achieve the gray shade of our rocks. I think I forgot to mention how much flour I've added. So I've added 70 grams of flour. And now what I'm gonna do, I've transferred our roux to a bowl just to cool it down a bit, and I'm going to add 35 grams of eggs and mix everything together and form a dough. And now everything is ready, and I'm going to shape and deep fry our donuts, and I'm going to start with our sweet churro donut. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this edible stones slash donuts slash Mexican inspired donuts video. Overall, I'm happy with the result, although I'm not super happy with the color. And I did not want to use this squid ink, but I think it would give such a better result in terms of color. So yeah, it's something debatable, but now let's taste it. Here comes the ceviche donut stone. Oh my god, it's so juicy. But it tastes just amazing. The dough, the ceviche, like, it's really good. For today, that's it. Don't forget to like if you like this experimental rock dish and you want to see more of that. Subscribe if you haven't done it so. And I'll see you in the next video.